Hi, I'm Dr. Don Litchie. I serve as Vice President here at Emerge Ministries, and I'm very proud to present to you part of a whole video series compiled by our professional staff here at Emerge Ministries. They are based upon a whole series of very timely topics. Some of them are more difficult than others. And today's first topic that you're going to watch is done by Tish Jackson, one of our clinicians here at Emerge, on one of the very toughest topics that anyone will ever face, and that is dealing with child sexual abuse. The video series are designed for pastors, for teachers, for parents, for anyone who might find an interest in these various topics. Tish does an excellent job, and at the end of her series, what you're going to find are some handouts, some videos, and some websites that are made available to you as resource guides that are available to you on our website. Thanks for watching.
Hi, my name is Tish Jackson and I am a professional counselor at Emerge, and I am here to share some useful information with you about child sexual abuse to better equip you to recognize, prevent, and respond appropriately to this reality. It's quite normal to go periods of time without thinking much about child sexual abuse, its impact, or the fight against it. But the recent world news story involving former Penn State assistant football coach Jerry Sandusky has reminded each of us that we could learn more and do more to prevent this from happening in our families and communities. Let me give you some numbers about child sexual abuse. Child sexual abuse is reported to occur over 80,000 times in the U.S. per year, and that's just what's reported. 1 in 6 boys and 1 out of 4 girls is expected or estimated to be sexually abused before the age of 18. 60% of perpetrators are non-family members, 30% family members, and the other 10% strangers. Many of you may be wondering about the well-being of the 10 victims in the Jerry Sandusky case. Let me share with you some of the short and long-term effects of child sexual abuse, many of which are very devastating and damaging. Many victims of CSA go on to develop emotional disorders, such as anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Victims can also suffer from intense feelings of guilt, shame, fear, anger, and they can also suffer from poor self-esteem. Victims of CSA can also have sleep impairments and eating impairments. They can engage in risky behaviors, which include risky sexual behaviors. They can engage in drug and alcohol abuse and other addictive behaviors. They can suffer with self-injury and suicidal thoughts, which sometimes can be fatal. Victims of CSA can struggle in their relationships. They can have trust impairments, attachment disorders, and overall poor boundaries in their relationships. And lastly, they can suffer in their spirituality as they ask, "Where was God?" These are just a few of the damaging effects of CSA. So now, what can you do to prevent CSA from happening in your family and in your community? If you are a parent, you want to be involved in your child's after-school activities. You want to know where they are and who they're with. Be cautious of your child spending too much unmonitored time one-on-one with another adult. You also want to ask questions. It's also wise to have a no secrets rule in your house. In addition to that, teach your child accurate names for their private body parts. Teach your child body safety and healthy body boundaries. And also teach your child how to respect other people's boundaries. If you are another professional or individual who interacts with children on a regular basis, you also want to respect your children's boundaries that you work with. You want to be aware and cautious for inappropriate activity that is happening between children that you work with and the adults that you work with. And you want to respond appropriately if you notice anything suspicious. Also, communicate with the parents of the children that you work with. Keep parents up to date with changes in their child's mood and behavior. we recognize that you could be doing everything in your power to prevent CSA from occurring in your family and in your community. Let me give you some bullet points of some indicators or warning signs that CSA has occurred or is occurring. Is there a change in your child's mood or behavior? Is there a change in your child's academic performance? Is your child experiencing intense rage and fear? Does your child have a preoccupation with sex, inappropriate sexual behavior, and/or touching? Is your child using inappropriate names for their body parts that you didn't teach them? Is your child having sleeping or eating difficulties? Is your child more withdrawn or clingy than they usually are? And lastly, is your child not wanting to be left alone with a particular individual? If you suspect that CSA has impacted your family, it is your responsibility as an adult to respond appropriately. It may be best if you call your local mental health agency or your local child protective services and see what the best step is. In some cases, you may need to even call your local law enforcement agency. If your child has overtly disclosed to you that they have been abused, it is your responsibility as an adult to believe them and follow the necessary steps. If you are just suspicious that your child has been sexually abused, it is still your responsibility to follow the necessary steps to protect them. Remember, children are often afraid to tell. They're often afraid that the perpetrator will hurt them, or they're afraid of losing the love and affection of the perpetrator. And most importantly, they're afraid of how you will react. So it is your responsibility to prevent and protect them. Emerge is a part of this fight against child sexual abuse, and we would like you to join us. Please visit our website to download more resources about child sexual abuse and what you can do to recognize, prevent, and react responsibly. Also, if your family has been directly impacted by child sexual abuse, please call Emerge and set up an appointment with one of our professional counselors. That's all for now. Thank you so much for your time.